Today we're going to be discussing a member of Amanita in section Armadillo, which to my knowledge is the oldest lineage of sections of Armadillo. Yeah, very common here in the Northeast. What I'm going to be discussing today, I'll call Amanita pseudovolvata, except that group's kind of being worked on. It may be more cryptic than we understand currently, so in the present we're working on those to make sure our names are correct. So for educational purposes we will call this Amanita pseudovolvata. Beautiful white mushrooms. So this is Amanita pseudovolvata. One characteristic of this is this very shaggy looking stem that it has, and also the cap itself. It has traces of vellum and warts on it. They're not pyramidal, they're not friable, they're very thin and get stretched out, as we can see here. You can see a few of them on this side of the cap. I actually have a young one here that we can look a little closer at. So even though this is a member of subgenus Lepidilla, according to Boss, we do have mild striations on this, which can happen in Armadillo. It's not very common in the rest of the subgenus. Section Phalloidea has a smooth margin, Section Vallidae has a smooth margin, and I'm missing one. We got Armadillo. Oh, Section Lepidilla. There may be a few members of Section Lepidilla that might have a mild striate margin, but kind of a unique characteristic for Armadillo. So we can see those warts on the cap. Really flat and turning red. So another characteristic to note on this is we can also see the vulva is very robust. Kind of tall, even though this is a small mushroom. And we can see on the stem that furriness. On this one it's still very white, but on this one over here it's kind of turning red a little bit, similar to the warts on the cap. And a characteristic I like to note with these is that reddening. Even though this one has this very shag look, if I rub the stem, it colors in orange very, very fast, which is a characteristic of these pseudovolvata. Other Armadillo as well, but just as a characteristic note. And let's see if we can dig this up. I see a piece of the vulva here that got stuck to this leaf, but we'll see how deep this girl goes.
Dive into a new read each month with GBH's virtual book club, Beyond the Page.
Yep, I seem to have lost most of it. That's okay, but we can see the vulva here, and so this one typically doesn't have a skirt on it. And often it'll have little trace remnants of material. You can see these little granules on the stem. This has to do with the Velcro between the gills and the stem. When it separates, it actually pulls some of this material off. That material will eventually turn red as well. We'll see if we have it on this small one. Almost looks marginate towards the edge there. Those are those little trace granules of material that are turning red, just like on the stem and the cap. But very good characteristic too. Armadillo is this big robust vulva that it comes out of, typically exanelate, and these ones happen to be reddening. So that's what I got for you, some Armadillo today. I hope you enjoy.